card stacked. Next Friday, let's fucking get it. Whole card, movies, come on. Stop playing, people. Look at this.
Right.
Look at this. Come on.
Just fighting him. And there won't be much words being said in that ring except for punches being exchanged. And it's just a battle of the fittest, battle of the smartest, and the last man will be standing.
Breaking news is rocking the boxing world as Anthony Joshua's latest face-off leaves Jake Paul visibly shaken. Joshua's presence and physical aura make it clear he's operating on a different level. Paul may talk confidently, but even he admits AJ is a former world champion. His emphasis on pay-per-view sounds more like nerves than belief. Joshua's experience already overshadows Paul, and this matchup feels one-sided before they even touch gloves, with AJ firmly in control. Anthony Joshua sending Christmas cards along with subtle warnings to Jake Paul is classic AJ, respectful but psychologically sharp. He shows he understands the hype without being affected by it. Paul may brush it off as a joke or gimmick, but the message is unmistakable. Joshua is calm, calculated, and ready. Paul isn't facing a social media star chasing clicks, he's stepping in with a real former world champion.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, I'm focused on Saturday night. I have a tough opponent in front of me. Everyone needs to get the pay-per-view, the zone, pull up, be there. But, man.
Deontay Wilder cuts straight to the core. Jake Paul has never faced a professional anywhere near Anthony Joshua's level. Past opponents don't compare. Calling the fight scripted reflects how heavily it favors AJ. Joshua's preparation and elite experience place him far above Paul, turning this into a harsh lesson in real heavyweight boxing against a former world champion.
Yourself a heavyweight boxer, but let's be honest, you're just heavy. That's good. You never held a title belt, nor will you ever, but I'm happy to lend you one of mine to spank yourself with. I hear you're into that.
Eddie Hearn's assessment cuts straight through the noise. Joshua isn't just powerful, he's precise and clinical. Comparing Jake Paul to Francis Ngannou exposes the massive gap in experience and skill. Paul may have power, but AJ's accuracy and history of dominating elite opposition make this a mismatch. Anyone expecting a comfortable night for Paul is ignoring reality.
AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ...
Moses delivers a brutally honest take. Jake Paul might look capable against limited opposition, but Anthony Joshua represents an entirely different level. AJ's Olympic pedigree, championship experience, and raw power make him a mountain to climb. Luck won't save Paul here. Preparation and confidence alone cannot match the mindset and ability of a proven world champion.
I actually think he's a decent boxer, but you're not on the caliber of obviously Anthony Joshua. But
David Haye perfectly captures the madness of this matchup. Jake Paul is stepping far beyond influencer boxing. Joshua doesn't need to force dominance. One clean, serious punch could end the contest instantly. Paul's team may believe in an upset, but underestimating AJ's focus and power is a dangerous gamble with real consequences.
David, do you think people are underestimating how dangerous this fight is?
My initial thoughts were this is craziness, this is madness, you know, Jake Paul's going to get hurt. As time's gone by, I'm starting thinking, okay, now that initial shock is gone and the fight is taking place, if I'm Jake Paul, why am I taking the fight? What's the point of me putting myself in such harm's way? If Anthony Joshua's ever going to fight terribly, it's going to be against someone he completely overlooks, someone he doesn't believe deserves to be in the ring with him. All it takes is one shot, and I think Jake Paul and his team believe what they've got is enough to somehow pull off one of the biggest upsets in the history of boxing.
Roy Jones Jr. leaves no room for doubt. Jake Paul is out of his depth. Anthony Joshua is a seasoned veteran who understands how to read and finish fights. Paul may have some ability, but against Joshua's experience and ring IQ, he offers no real threat. AJ would expose the gap immediately.
Big news also this past week, AJ versus Jake. I mean, everyone's been calling for Jake to fight a real fighter. What do you think?
And Jake gonna fight a real fighter, and if the real fighter fights like a real fighter, then Jake gonna take a real nap. AJ, he showed you with Ngannou.
He ain't one of these guys that just go pick off the street and say, oh, I'm going to fight AJ. No. AJ is an Olympian. AJ is a former world champion. AJ is not a two-time world champion. AJ is nothing to play with. So when you go in with AJ, have your mind right, because if you can't take it, he going to find out.
Were you surprised when you heard about that?
No, I was not.
So you think he's going to knock him out, though, AJ?
He's going to definitely knock him out. Because, I mean, don't get it wrong. Jake's smart, and Jake does have the power. If he can catch him first, he knows if he can catch AJ first, he can get AJ out. But he don't catch AJ first. Just like Ngannou couldn't catch him first. AJ been boxing a long time. AJ better than they give him credit for.
Amir Khan explains the imbalance clearly. Joshua has little to fear, while Jake Paul risks serious damage. This isn't about fun or spectacle. It's about business and reputation. Paul's hopes rest on a miracle punch, but Joshua's power and experience make that scenario highly unlikely. This fight favors AJ in every aspect.
AJ by knockout, brutal knockout. Nakisa is making a big mistake putting Jake Paul in a fight like this because he's gonna want to see him get hurt. I mean, these guys are going for the money, where really, you know, he has a life after boxing as well. Let's hope he comes out the ring in one piece.
Could I ask you individually, why are they doing this? So start with AJ, why is he doing this?
AJ, if I was AJ, I'd do the same thing, because at the end of the day, you're fighting a YouTuber, and why not? I mean, getting paid millions and millions of pounds. And why is Jake doing? Jake's just doing it for probably the fan following. Maybe he wants to get the boxing audience. But look, who knows? I mean, anything can happen in boxing. One punch can change the fight, but I just don't think he has that one punch to change the fight. It's just does Jake Paul.
Johnny Nelson is brutally direct. Anthony Joshua has the skill, power, and ring intelligence to dominate Jake Paul completely. There's no reason for this fight to reach the later rounds. AJ can control, punish, and finish early. The idea that Paul comfortably survives is unrealistic. This is less competition and more a professional delivering a harsh lesson, with Paul stepping into a storm he's never faced.
He's torturing him all the way through. I keep saying it. I've thought about it. I'm like, you know what, AJ shouldn't let it.
Duke McKenzie's words serve as both warning and confirmation. If Joshua lands clean, Paul could be in serious trouble. The health risks are obvious, yet commercial pressure pushes the fight forward. Joshua's strength, technique, and experience place him far above Paul. This isn't a normal matchup. It's a business-driven fight that heavily favors AJ, with real danger attached.
Anthony Joshua goes into this fight with Jake Paul on a serious level and catches Jake Paul with a serious punch. He will do far more damage than that. So, from a health and safety perspective, I hope the fight doesn't happen. But from a commercial perspective, the fight has to happen, because this fight generates...
Derek Chisora states the obvious. This fight should be over quickly. Joshua will take control from the opening bell. Paul's attempts to frame this as competitive feel like wishful thinking. AJ's experience, power, and discipline make the outcome predictable. Fans shouldn't expect a war, they should expect Joshua to assert dominance and remind everyone why he's a former world champion.
Easy fight for him, and I think this should be laid to rest, because I don't think AJ's going to go in and try and pat. AJ's going to
Adam Smith adds a layer of tactical intrigue. Joshua could finish the fight whenever he chooses, but a long layoff may lead him to pace himself. Even with that approach, AJ remains firmly in control. Paul gains nothing from this. Joshua's experience allows him to balance patience and aggression, making Paul's chances of landing anything meaningful extremely slim.
AJ should win whenever he wants to win, but will he want to win early? Will he want to get some rounds in, being inactive for 14 months to prepare him for 2020?
Sam Jones sums up the danger perfectly. Anthony Joshua's power is absolute, and if he lands clean, the consequences could be severe. Comparisons to Ngannou's knockout highlight the risk involved. Fans may joke about Paul surviving, but AJ's punches are fight-ending weapons. This is not hypothetical, it's a real threat every second they share the ring.
Listen, we can all joke, but nobody wants any permanent damage to happen to Jake Paul, but if Anthony Joshua hits Jake Paul with the right hand he hit Francis Ngannou with, he could brown bread him.
Johnny Nelson reinforces what most viewers already believe. The odds are stacked heavily against Jake Paul, and anyone suggesting otherwise is living in fantasy. Fans are tuning in to watch a world-class fighter dominate someone far outside his league. Joshua's experience and knockout power make this overwhelmingly one-sided, turning the event into a showcase of AJ's authority rather than a real contest. 14. Carl Froch paints a clear and brutal picture. One clean punch is all it would take to end the fight decisively. There's no debate about the difference in class, power, and experience. This matchup feels almost pre-written, with Joshua expected to dominate from the opening seconds while Paul risks exposure and embarrassment.
So you're going to watch this to see, most people watch this to see Jake Paul get his ass given to him.
Frank Warren highlights the massive gap between the two fighters. Joshua's Olympic background, world titles, and natural size make him an overwhelming favorite. Paul's limited amateur base and short professional career rely more on hype than substance. This is spectacle over sport, and Joshua's experience and technique are set to define the outcome.
AJ splatters Fake Paul within a round. Within the first minute of the first round, the first punch, the first right hand that lands anywhere on the cranium of Fake Paul, the fight is over. He's got to be. Like, you can't make an excuse either way. Does Fake Paul think that AJ's that badly?
AJ will go in as a massive favourite, former two-time world champion, naturally a natural big heavyweight, gold medalist at Olympic Games against a guy who never had any amateur fights. What's he had, about 10 or 12 pro fights, been accused of not fighting.
Roy Jones Jr. confirms what many already suspect. Anthony Joshua is likely to knock Jake Paul out. Paul may have power, but his timing and experience fall far short. AJ's ring intelligence and discipline make him extremely difficult to catch clean. The result feels inevitable, with Joshua neutralizing every realistic chance Paul might imagine.
So definitely knock him out. Because, I mean, don't get it wrong, Jake's smart, and Jake does have the power. If he can catch him first, he knows if he can catch AJ first, he can get AJ out. But he don't catch AJ first, like Ngannou couldn't catch him first.
Tony Bellew focuses on the physical reality. Joshua's size, strength, and athleticism tower over Jake Paul. The mismatch is obvious even before skills are considered. Paul has little chance of withstanding AJ's power. This isn't just a skill gap, it's a physical and mental divide that makes the situation genuinely dangerous.
Joshua, who's now 5 inches bigger than you, maybe more, or 4 or 5 inches, and about 100 pounds heavier. You just don't go from there right up to there. I don't believe it. And I won't believe it until the two of them got 10-ounce gloves on in a boxing ring. Because if Anthony Joshua puts 10-ounce gloves on and gets in a boxing ring and Jake Paul is in the other corner, this won't last long.